White folk don't like Farrakhan. Some of them respect me. But those who have been our deceivers, they can't stand me. I'm not mad with you. In fact, to the members of the Jewish community that don't like me, thank you very much for putting my name all over the planet because of your fear of what we represent. I can go anywhere in the world and they've heard of Farrakhan. Thank you very much. I'm not mad at you because you're so stupid. Don't you know, my teacher, Elijah Muhammad, taught me one day. He said there once was a donkey that fell in the ditch. And everybody came along, they picked up a stone and threw it at the donkey. They threw so many stones till the ditch got filled up and the donkey walked out. So my teacher said, brother, remember, every knock is a boost. So when they talk about Farrakhan, call me a hater, you know what they do? Call me an anti-Semite. Stop it. I'm anti-termite. I don't know nothing about hating somebody because of their religious preference.
What do you do when black identitarians start going after the Jews? I mean, what do we do here? Like, we spent all this time telling black people they can't be racist because of institutional power and prejudice and the relative position to black people to white people and everyone else on earth means that they can't be racist. So when they identify a preponderance of Jews at the top of Hollywood, the media, and various other sort of, public-facing industries, what do we do when they start calling that out? I mean, it's not like calling them racist has much of an effect, because we've told them they can't be racist. And if you say, well, I'm anti-Semitic, well, that's just a subset of racism. And apparently they'll say, no, I'm anti-termite, and compare the Jews to termites, who attack civilizations. And this is not my opinion, this is the opinion of Minister Farrakhan and Brother Jess, who says this is the absolute truth by the Honourable Minister Louis Farrakhan. Termites are pale-coloured insects that eat at the foundation of a structure. There is no denying the termitic history and behaviour of the satanic Jews. Really sounds like something Oswald Mosley might have said. So what are we supposed to do about this? Shai comes along, really, at Jack, CNN, ABC, BBC, New York Times, Washington Post and New York Post. None of them picked up on it, though. And Brother Jesse swings back with, well, do you agree with this chief rabbi calling black people monkeys? Where was the outrage? Is this not satanic? Shai swings back with, what the rabbi said was disgusting. Israel was up in arms when he said it. We denounced him. The rabbi doesn't represent us. And he says, well, wait, that's the chief Israeli rabbi and he doesn't represent you. Is that not an Israeli flag in your bio? Did you and others not publicly condemn him? I missed that part. Let's be clear, I am a proud follower and student of the man of God. Well, shit. What do we do about this? We can't tell the black people that they're being racist because we ideologically established that black people can't be racist. As the oppressed descendants of slaves, these people can't be racist. And you can say, well, you're being anti-Semitic, but that's just a subset of racism. And what happens when they own it? What happens when they say, we don't care? What happens when you use digital blackface, which in and of itself is a transgression, you paleface? Stan, who does appear to be some kind of goblinoid creature, but I actually checked, he's actually white. He says, how is this not hate speech? What if people said these things about black or Muslim people? Then it would be racist. But when a black person says this, it's not racist. Stan, you need to learn about power plus prejudice. You don't get how this works, Stan. Because it turns out that Louis Farrakhan has done nothing wrong according to far-left ideology. Personally, I think he's a raging racist. But hey, what's my opinion worth? I'm just a straight white man. Twitter is this hate speech that could promote violence, says another white man. Do we need your opinion, Mr. UF stem cell study? Mr. Farrakhan has never said anything about himself being great. There is absolutely nothing in his background that justifies you calling him a monster. He has nothing in common with any of the people you have listed here, Ceausescu, Mussolini, etc., etc. He is a servant of God, pure and simple. And then Gerald Kramer comes along. He's a servant of a pile of shit. They both look and smell the same. Gerald, that's probably racist for you to say that. I notice you look really pale. And you might be Jewish given your surname. So honestly, I'm not sure that you are in a position to start associating a black man with a pile of shit. Just want to point this out. That might be a really racist statement of yours. And what I'm saying is that this is the world that you have created. By saying some people can't be racist to other people, and we're actually going to act that way. For example, in the case of Sarah Jeong, who's on the editorial board for the New York Times and is their lead writer on technology, her open anti-white racism is just one of the best examples why Louis Farrakhan did nothing wrong, according to far leftists like Sarah Jeong. Shortfire Taku managed to trigger a response from her with quite a spicy reply. And someone else replied, "What do you mean? Their posts have never been revealing. Dumbass fucking white people marking up the internet with their opinions like dogs pissing on fire hydrants," says Sarah Jeong in a tweet that's still up. Openly racist against white people, comparing them to dogs pissing. And just, that's still up. She still has a job in the New York Times. It's not a problem. It's not a problem. Oh, what's this? They've never said anything questionable. Sarah Jeong, men can fuck right off. A tweet that, again, is still up. This is the world that the far left have created. This is the kind of language that has been made acceptable, permissible. There is no problem with this. So when Louis Farrakhan says, well, Jews are termites, what are you going to say about it? What are you going to do? By what grounds are you going to say, well, he has a problem? Because if it's okay for Sarah Jeong as an oppressed woman of colour to be as racist as she wants against white people, and what was the other one? Oh man, it's kind of sick how much enjoyment I get out of being cruel to old white men. Right, if that's okay for the New York Times editorial board, then saying Jews are termites must be okay for Farrakhan. And I just want to be clear, I'm not for either of these groups making these kind of statements and holding to them in such literal ways as they do. But unfortunately, I was born in the wrong body to have an opinion on this. Neither one of these groups will give a shit about what I say about it, and they will continue to be at each other's throats, because this is what happens when you play the game of identity politics. It was easy to attack white men because they were white men, because white men aren't very identitarian and don't have a way of fighting back. Well, there are a lot of black identitarians. How are you going to tell them that they can't be identitarian towards the Jews? It's going to be remarkably difficult, and I think that they may have their pro-victimhood narratives quite finely polished. So what I'm saying is, if these two groups come into conflict, what we're going to have to decide is, what was worse, slavery or the Holocaust? And as Joseph Bernstein for BuzzFeed News reports, Twitter won't suspend Louis Farrakhan for his tweet comparing Jews to insects, specifically termites, Joseph. Oh dear. It seems that Twitter has made their executive decision on who is more oppressed, Jews or black people. And they've come down on the side of black people. I wonder how long it's going to be until we get to Jewish privilege. All I'm saying is, as a straight white male individualist, I'm opposed to all of this, but at the end of the day, if you make your bed, you've probably got to lie in it.